Hey everybody, what's going on? It's been way overdue. It's your boy Xavier coming at y'all again with another video. First off, I want to say I'm really sorry. I know it's been a couple of weeks, maybe a month and a half that you didn't really hear from me. I was going through some things. I had to figure things out before I could make another video for y'all, because if I didn't figure myself out, there's no way I can help you guys out, right? So let me kind of retrack everything. I had made a last video and it wasn't able to go through either. So just to catch you guys up, I finished the last book that I was reading, and the next book that I'm reading right now, I mean, it's amazing. If you don't read this book, I'm telling you, you're stunting your growth. Now, we already talked about this. You might look good, you might work out, you might make a lot of money, but if you're empty in the head, there might not be a lot of hope for you. You don't want to be an airhead, you know? I mean, how much more attracting is it when you're smart, when you have money, and when you're physically fit? I mean, you're the trio. You're a triple threat. So that's how I'm looking at it. And here's the next video that I have here. Make your anger your ally. I mean, this book is just... I'm going to go ahead and put the author's name in the subscriptions, in the details below. But, I mean, this book is just amazing. And I'm not saying I exactly turn green when I get mad. But, I mean, every one of us gets a little mad sometimes, right? It all depends on what we do with that anger that determines how we are as individuals, per se. How we handle our anger. I'm sorry. It's been a long day so far. It's usually how we are as people. So it talks a lot about how we can do a lot of great things with the world and change this world if we used our anger for the right things instead of for the wrong things. And just another catch up. This is a relationship book. I know we talked about it just a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I brought this up in the last video that I couldn't really get out to you all. But it's called, I'm not sure if you can see it, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And again, I'll put the titles and the authors. I'll let you know everything you need to know. I got you. But I want to let y'all know that this book right here is just amazing. Now, of course, no book is going to change your life unless you start applying what you learned in the books to start changing your life. That's how it goes. I don't care how much you know. I don't care how many times you go to the gym. If you're not working out at the gym, you'll never start looking like Hercules, right? So that's a little catch up over there with the literature. But now let's get back to the main point of today. What's today's parable? What's the lesson today? Well, I've been doing a lot of research since I've been gone. Been looking around, keeping all 6 senses open. And I've been doing a lot of analyzing, and I'm noticing there's certain people in this world that don't do enough with their lives. They don't do enough with their lives. I mean, Netflix is about as determined as they are, right? Then there's certain people that do so much with their lives. You know what I mean? They work, they grind. Here's a perfect example. I'm not sure. There was a movie. It was a spelling bee movie. And it was a young black girl who she whooped I think it was Akeelah. I believe it was Akeelah. I'm not sure. Don't quote me now. But there was a Chinese kid that she was going after to compete on who could spell better than the other person. But here was the difference in techniques that they practiced and how they handled the situation. The Chinese kid, he wasn't allowed to play. This man wasn't allowed to take breaks. He couldn't even look at the wall unless it had a word on it for him to spell. I mean, that's just how disciplined and how it enrooted he was in his practicing. And a lot of that was because of his dad. His dad did not want to see him do anything else but practice spelling. Akeelah, on the other hand, she had a rougher lifestyle. There was a lot of people that weren't supporting her. Her parents weren't really exactly all the way in with the fact that she was a speller. Not automatically, at least. I mean, her mom had some tension. I'm not even sure if her dad was around. I don't remember it too quite well. But what I'm saying is this. Akeelah found a way to beat the Chinese kid. And at the very last day, this is how she did it too. She had everybody in the neighborhood helping her out. If she was jump roping, she had somebody try to spell out a word for her. If she was walking down the street, somebody was asking her how to spell a word. She had support of her whole neighborhood. But she didn't just practice in a way that was boring. She knew how to turn up and she knew when to turn down as well. But here's what this is the good part right here. The day before the competition, Akeelah invited the rest of the spelling bee people, her competitors. Now I know they're competing, but they're still human beings at the end. And this was the message that she was trying to get across to the little Asian kid, her main competitor. You can turn up as long as you know when to turn down. See, that night, they didn't practice. The day before the competition, they did not practice. Now, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen every time you're in a competition, but this is what I'm saying. They didn't practice. They played. They ate junk food. They listened to music. They danced around. They had fun. They turned up. They knew when to turn up, and they knew when to turn down. They knew the competition was the next day. I'm talking about 7 hours away from the main competition. This is what they've been working on. This is what they've been grinding on. This is what they've been losing out on sleep, energy, time, extracurricular activities, because they were young, so they had to go to school on top of doing all this practicing and going around the world to compete. But Akeelah knew that if you at least knew when to turn up, but understood when you had to turn down, that the balance was essential, because we're not robots and we can't just work and not enjoy ourselves. The Chinese kid, he was asked by Akeelah and the rest of the friends, hey, do you want to join us? Do you want to hang out with us? We're having fun. It's the day before the competition. Let's just all relax. But when the Chinese kid looked at his dad for approval, he looked right at him. And the dad said no. The dad didn't want to even try to understand the new way of thinking. See, back in the day, all a lot of people did was just work, go to school, try to get a good education, retire safely, right? That's the old way of thinking. But there's nothing wrong with turning up if you know when to turn down. So a couple hours later, after Akeelah realized that she couldn't talk the Chinese kid's dad from letting him go and hang out with them, what she did was give him a little soda pop. It was the humanity, the humility inside of her to be a better person no matter what. She knew that she couldn't get this guy to hang out with them. She knew there was nothing she could do. She was a little girl. She's not going to disrespect this man's father. But she understood also that if she couldn't go ahead and have him play with her and just wind down with the rest of the people, she was at least going to go ahead and give some love and give him a little soda pop. Akeelah won that championship, by the way, the very next day. I mean, she blew everybody out the court. What I'm trying to say is this. Look, I know you might barely be doing anything with your life, or you might be somebody who just cannot stop. You can't get a break. You can't even breathe. If it isn't growth, you won't even breathe it. What I'm telling you is this. If you really want to get to the next level, what I've been learning lately, what I've been seeing in my whole world lately, what I've been hearing from motivational speakers, there ain't nothing wrong with turning up. You got to realize when to turn down, though. That's it. You can turn up. You can have fun. You can get loose. Just don't be stupid with it. Be careful who you do it with. And then when it's time to get back on the grind, get back on the grind. That's it. So this is your boy saying, listen, I turned down. I'm about to turn up. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.